Alright, today's video, I have this Jetta for a week, 2017 Jetta with a 1.4 turbo. So I'm going to test out the fuel economy on this car. Everyday, daily driver, fuel economy. I'm going to take this car to work, a combination of side street and freeway. I'm going to put about 100 miles on that trip meter, and we'll see what kind of fuel economy this car gets. Just got on the freeway. I have the car set on cruise control, 65 miles per hour, and that's how I'm going to drive this car. That's how I'm going to do this test. No hard acceleration, 65 miles per hour, cruise control, and stay in the middle lane. And let's see how this car does. Right now, I'm in manual mode, 6th gear, top gear for this car, just at under 2,000 RPM. I'm on a slight incline right now. My mom's cross track needs to downshift on this little incline. This car is holding 6th gear on this incline. Unfortunately, there's no boost gauge, so I don't know how much boost it's getting. So it could keep 6th gear without losing speed. In my mom's cross track, when I'm in manual mode, and if I leave it in 7th gear, which is the top gear for that car, it'll lose speed on this incline, and then you have to downshift it to maintain your cruise control speed. And that's what I picked right now, 65 miles per hour. This car is not fast. The turbo doesn't make this car fast, but I think the turbo is mainly for fuel economy. It lets you hold gear, lets you hold 6th gear and keep your RPM right at under 2,000. It doesn't feel slow, it doesn't feel fast. The turbo is mainly there for fuel economy. So I'm pretty impressed with this car. I actually really like it a lot. I'll do a more thorough review when I get more time with this car, but I like it. It's a really good daily driver. It's a mature looking car. It looks very mature. Doesn't look like an economy car. It looks it's like bigger than a Corolla and smaller than a Camry. It's like a kind of a tweener size. I'm at the end of my work week. 103.2 miles traveled. According to the computer, I got 33.8 MPG. Freeway rating for this car, according to the EPA, is 39. I forgot to look up what city MPG is. So we're about to find out what I got combined. About 70% freeway driving, 30% side street, so mixed driving. My job is about 1 mile from this gas station, so the car's not fully warmed up yet. There's a fuel gauge. Looks like it went one line down, so let's see what this car got. I like this car. I'm going to do a separate video reviewing this car. I do like it. I mentioned it earlier, but it's a cool car. If it was a manual, it would be really nice. Car's topped off. As always, when the car tops off, I wait a couple moments and then 2 clicks. 1, 2. This car can take 87 octane, but you could also put 91 octane for more power. Once I get more time with this car, when I borrow it again, I would like to try 91 octane in it and see if it feels different. But for now, I'm going with 87, 333 a gallon. Gallons added. I almost forgot. 2.915. Let's get the actual fuel economy. Actual fuel economy, 35.4 miles per gallon. That's really good. Mixed driving, 70% freeway, 30% side street, city. In March, I'll have the opportunity to borrow this car again. I have to return it in a few days, but in March, I'll take a road trip with this car. I predict this car can get 45 plus MPG. In fact, let's go ahead and hypermile it right now. This computer is pretty accurate. It actually predicted less than it actually got. So just to get an idea what kind of MPG we could get hypermiling, I'm going to hypermile home. So let's go ahead and reset the trip computer here. So 33.8 MPG, we're gonna reset it. Reset the trip meter. My drive home is only about 8 miles, but the trip meter is zeroed out. Fuel consumption is zeroed out. So my drive home is only about 8 miles, but I'm gonna hypermile home. Hypermiling means driving 55 miles per hour in top gear, driving like a grandma for maximum fuel economy. Let's see what this car does. Hypermiling at 55. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Renew key battery. I'll let my sister know she needs a new key battery. Alright, it's 1:10, so no one's on the road right now, so I'm able to go 55 right now. This is how you hypermile. 55 miles per hour, 6 gear. You can see 6 right by the clock. I'm in manual mode, and look at that RPM. About 1600 RPM, and that fuel consumption will go up rapidly. I've only been on the freeway for about 0.6 miles. $34.8 right now. Look at that steady climb. 39. It's just like going up like a stopwatch almost. Not quite as fast, but it's constantly going up. That's what the freeway looks like right now. One car on the road. I'm in the slow lane. Going 55. It just keeps going up. That's hypermiling. See what it gets up to by the time I get home. Halfway home, 4.4 miles traveled, about 8.5, something like that. 37.5. It's gonna hit 40 soon. I'll turn it off when it hits 40. We're about to hit, there it is, 39. That's the EPA rated freeway miles, but I could beat the EPA. The EPA rates vehicles at 70, I want to say 70, and the AC on 41.3. Okay, almost home. Hypermiled home. Traveled 8.8 miles. Look at that MPG, 51.3. That's really impressive. This car has a 1.4 turbo, 4-cylinder, 150 horsepower, 180 foot-pounds of torque, 2,900 pounds. My daily driver, if you're familiar with my channel, I have an Abarth. That car also has a 1.4 turbo engine, 5-speed manual. This car is a 6-speed automatic, and I think the 6 gears is giving this car the edge. My Abarth has 160 horsepower, so 10 more horsepower, and 170 foot-pounds of torque, 10 less torque, but it weighs 2,500 pounds. That's 400 less pounds, and I think this car is going to edge the Abarth. I've never gotten 51 or even 50 MPG in the Abarth. I think this car could beat the Abarth in MPG, and it's a bigger car. Super impressive. Really impressed by this car. I really like it a lot. It would be a lot more fun if it were a manual, but even with just a 6-speed automatic, 51. Let's see if I could crack 50 miles per gallon on a road trip. The Abarth is at about 2,700 RPM at 65. This car is only at 1,900 RPM at 65, so really impressive fuel economy with this car for what it is.